and welcome to a brand new episode of Gadget Nation with me, Adam Carruthers, and as always, incredibly excited because we got a little bit of a tablet overload today. Two different brands, two very different tablets. I'll be showing that to you later on. Plus, some apps, some games, and plenty more just in store for you. So, let me just walk down these steps and we can start the show.
The 5-inch display Nokia Lumia 930 has been officially announced, featuring a metallic band like the Lumia icon. The smartphone features a 20-megapixel pure-view camera. Asus Malaysia has announced the release of a major software or firmware update for the Asus Pad Phone 2 to Android 4.4 KitKat. This release also brings the new Asus Zen UI made available for current Pad Phone 2 users. Samsung Malaysia has started a new fitness promotion with their Gear Fit Gym Challenge. Available at selected celebrity fitness and fitness first gyms, the challenge will run from 16th June to 27th August 2014. The winners will stand a chance to walk away with Samsung Gear Fit Smart Band.
You know, a lot of people I know have tablets, and I thought that perhaps most of the people out there do as well, but I've come to realize upon talking to some friends that some people still have not been sold on the tablet itself. So what I did was I decided to get things which are not iPads and two different brands just to compare the two and perhaps entice some of the people out there who might be interested in a tablet. Two with very different price points as well. So let's find out a bit more. Okay, so I've got two tablets in front of me just waiting to be looked at. We have the Samsung on my right, but firstly on my left we have the new one from Lenovo, the Yoga tablet. Certainly very interesting indeed. I mean, if I just hold it up as a side profile, you can see right there, it's barrel shaped, so obviously that's where the battery is. So already it stands out amongst the whole host of very, very similar, albeit different size tablets out there. So I quite like it. It's not too expensive, it's 999 ringgit, so obviously it's not going to have the greatest specs. I should stress that because if I start comparing it to what Samsung have on offer here, well, the design may not be as unique, but the obviously the features and everything underneath it, inside it rather, is much better. So it'd be very unfair to compare the two in that sense because, well, one is more expensive than the other. So let's focus first on some of the positives from Lenovo, the Yoga tablet. As you can see right there, this battery barrel thing adds something new. When you're, say, reading an ebook or something, it feels nice to hold like such. So it doesn't feel like it's going to slip out of my hands anytime soon. Now, on top of that, you may notice here, there's a little groove right there. That is to extend a kickstand. So you put it down, and it's basically perpendicular. It's resting there on your work desk, and it can face you. So that's a nice little touch, so it doesn't just rely on that. However, you can just pop it back in, and it'll also sit slightly elevated. So I quite like that. That for me is the biggest selling point about this Lenovo. It's its design and its shape. But what else about it? Let me just show you the rest of the body. So along the side here, we have the power button, about the size of a 10-cent coin. So obviously nice and big, and you can press it, etc. And it'll definitely switch on and off, so it's quite easily placed. On the other side, we have the headphone jack right there. So you can obviously plug in, listen to your tunes, etc. In case you're wondering about the speakers, which you may have noticed if you're observant enough, are right there as well at the base. It's Dolby speakers as well, so the sound is actually pretty immersive. It's pretty nifty. I'm actually surprised at how good the sound was. The moment I booted it up, it's got the Lenovo sound effect, and it sounded pretty cool, elsewhere, if you're wondering, it's got a 5-megapixel camera right there on the back. Again, it's kind of attached to the barrel. It's right by where the on-off switch is as well. And in case you're wondering, yep, there's one at the front as well, but it's obviously not going to be too great. It's at 1.6 megapixels. As for the screen itself, it's about 10 inches or so, and you're talking 1280 by 800 10-point IPS. And I mean, it's not great, it's nothing outstanding, but I want to stress again, the amount that you're paying for it, it is only 999 or 1,000 ringgit effectively. So don't expect the greatest of the best, but overall, it's pretty intuitive as a screen. It does its job. I mean, it's not gonna be great out in the sun, etc., but it will definitely pass the time. Now, this is a Skin 4.2 Jelly Bean as well, and in case you're wondering about everything inside, it's 1.2 gigahertz quad-core MediaTek ARM7 with 1 GB of RAM. So that's really going to be a hit or miss more than anything else. Again, not the most outstanding of features, but overall, pretty cool. Now we come to this, which is the Samsung Galaxy Tab 4, and already it's got a more premium feel than what we've just seen from Lenovo. Now the price on this is slightly under 1,499, so already it's 500 ringgit more than Lenovo, so obviously you better expect something nicer. It comes in various sizes here in Malaysia, and it's rather cool. For example, look at the back. It's got this rather nice feeling premium faux leather-ish sort of feel to it. So obviously when you're holding it, it feels very executive-esque. And I have to say I'm rather chuffed what we have here. So there's the LTE variant as well now, and it's great to see it included into the tablet. Now if you look along the top, in case you're wondering about the layout, we can see exactly what needs to be seen. We have the SIM card slot here, micro SD, as always I'm a big fan, internal memory in this is 16 GB, and alongside that we've got the button and the power switch as well. So obviously everything that you need is just effectively along the top, because apart from that, there's only a micro USB slot right there at the bottom. There's literally nothing else apart from the speakers alongside either. So obviously, right down to the nitty-gritty. I think this is rather cool. I mean, firstly, it's using the latest 4.4 TouchWiz skin, obviously, so very up to date as opposed to that which is running on Jelly Bean. So that's a big plus. One thing that surprises me though is the camera right here on the back. It's actually only 3 megapixels. The Lenovo one had a 5 megapixel one, so it does kind of surprise me. I thought it'll at least have a 5 megapixel camera to match whatever we see there. And then in case you're wondering, at the front, it's also less than Lenovo. It's a 1.3 megapixel camera. Now inside here, it's got 1.5 GB of RAM, so pretty nifty. The screen is rather similar, 1280 by 800. Now, if I was to compare the two, I would think that this is pretty good value for money in terms of being slightly, well, 1 ringgit less than 1,000 ringgit. And its unique shape and design adds something really quite nifty. And obviously, the biggest attraction for me would be the actual kickstand underneath here, which, unless you have long nails or some coins handy, can be a little bit tricky to pull out. So I'm quite happy to have it just like that. Camera surprised me a little bit. Perhaps the quality was a bit better than I expected for that price point. That includes the front one as well. And the camera on the Samsung slightly disappointed me, because when you're paying more, you expect a better camera. But overall, you're paying really for the feel of it and having all the latest bells and whistles, which is what Samsung always delivers on. They'll throw everything but the kitchen sink straight into their product, so that's pretty cool. This one has a very executive feel about it. This one feels like something I could travel with, something I can put on my desk at home, etc. So two very different things, but definitely worth checking out to see exactly which one you prefer. Do let us know if you do happen to see it. Find us on Facebook and Twitter and leave a comment.